Sometimes on a tractor you need a free oil return to return oil to the gearbox, perhaps from a log splitter or a hydraulic motor. Some people use the gearbox filler cap. Some tractors have a plug on the side of the gearbox that you can use. The DM4's had one with a magnetic filter in it. The Nuffield 1060 that I've got here doesn't have one, and what I'm going to do is drill a hole in the side of the casing and thread it and fit a return. What I'm going to do is not the only way of doing it. I'm not saying it's the best way of doing it. It's just what I've done on several of my tractors and I'm going to do to this one today. And what I'm going to do when I've tapped the hole is use these fittings. I've got a male 1/2 inch BSP taper which I can screw in till it's tight. Onto that I will then fit a 90-degree elbow. On the other side of that will be a 1/2 inch taper to 1/2 inch parallel, and then I will screw on the quick release coupling. And where I'm going to fit that is down here on the side of the gearbox where I've marked. It's about midway front to back and about level with the bottom of the PTO shaft. The reason I do this is that anybody familiar with international tractors will know that if you return oil above the fluid level, you can froth the oil and get bubbles in the oil, and then your brakes go spongy on an international. Not a problem with a Nuffield, but I just think it's best practice to return the oil below the level of what's in the gearbox already. So that's why I drill the hole down there. I've already done this to other tractors. I've looked on a casting on the inside. I know that there's nothing in the way there for when I drill through. And the other thing you might have qualms about, I'm going to drill and tap a hole in the casting with it in situ on the tractor, which means there'll be some iron filings and drillings possibly get in the back end of the tractor. Well, yes there will. It is a problem, not a big problem, because we've got gears in there that it's a crash gearbox, you're chipping gears all the time, and that's why on the Nuffield we have the magnetic filter and the gauze filter to pick these particles out. Okay, I've now cut the thread in the back end and I'm going to start assembling the fittings, and I'm going to put some Loctite 510 to stop it leaking, but it'll also set it in place. A bit on there. And there, like that. Just smear it on the threads with your finger. Right, screw that in there. The other end of the elbow I've put a short fitting in to stop it getting crushed while I tighten it. Carry on tightening this until it's nice and tight. Not the easiest job in the world. Oh, there we go. That's come tight. Now we put this in. At least we can get a spanner on this one. Tighten that. And the Last thing is just square that up that it's horizontal. Yeah, that'll do me. There's the job finished. Top one's your oil out and the bottom one is the free return. Some of the later tractors, like this 465, have a 3/4 BSP threaded hole in the top right hand side of the hydraulics, which can be used, as so you can see here, with a 3/4 to 1/2 inch bush and then an elbow, and he's just screwed a hydraulic fitting in and is away. So that's quite easy on these later tractors to fit a free oil return. Later tractors, like this 272 skid unit, has the hydraulic filler on the top of the hydraulics, and in the centre of the filler plug is a little brass plug that is threaded 3/4 UNF. Well, it nicely screws into a 3/4 UNF nut. I've just tried it, and the hole at the bottom, you can see there's a bit of a taper that would match the taper on a JIC hydraulic fitting. JIC hydraulic fittings use the UNF threads. So you take that plug out, put your 3/4 JIC to 1/2 inch BSP parallel adapter in, and then a hydraulic return will screw straight onto that. So that's how you do the free oil return on later tractors.